Good afternoon, everyone, and we have returned. We are Westchester Talk Radio. I'm Bob Marone, along with Matt Sako, and we are at the Knollwood Country Club here in Elmsford, New York, for the Honickman Company's Invitational Golf Tournament. Proceeds to benefit Volunteers of America of Greater New York, and we are streaming on Westchester Talk Radio. My next guest is Scott Allmers. He's the Vice President of Sales for Pepsi Bottling Company. They are, of course, an affiliate of the Honickman Company. And Scott is the Vice President of Sales. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Bob. How are you?
Very well, very well. Interested in what you have to say. Reginald Goins, the CEO and President of the Honickman Company, was very anxious to have you on. He yelled out to you. He told us to capture you, tie you up, and drag you to our portable studio.
Well, he was in my foursome today, so I'm curious to know what he said.
Oh, I told you what he shot. After he bought so many of these mulligans, he shot a 7.
Just for the record, I bought all the mulligans. We ran out, and then we had to have someone come out and give us some more.
Oh, that's pretty good. You know, whenever I played golf a lot back in I don't play it anymore because I do other things, but I wish I could have bought mulligans. I'd have gone broke. I'd still be paying them off.
Well, the funny thing is, when you buy mulligans, that means your score should be excellent, maybe like 10 under. Unfortunately, we didn't have that luck with us today.
So have you guys looked at the leaderboard? How are you doing?
We did. We were 4 under, but it looks like about 8 or 10 under is going to win it today.
Okay. See, usually when I've played golf, I would be down in the sub-basement, below the leaderboard. Let's talk a little bit about you. Reginald was really anxious to get you on. People have talked about your work. They tell me you're a good fundraiser. Is that the deal? What
yes.
is this? Tell me about that.
Well, I worked for Pepsi New York for about 35 years.
35 years?
Yeah,
since you were a kid?
Since I was a kid, pretty much coming out of college.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when we do fundraisers, it's all about getting and raising money. But what we've historically done is just write checks for a lot of the charities. And one of the things about Volunteers America is we've actively been involved in a lot of their fundraising and a lot of the activities that they had. And you feel more of a sense of ownership and loyalty to try to make a difference for Volunteers of America.
You know, I've noticed that, and maybe you can tell me why. Of course, Reginald Goins, Joe Klingler, the folks from Deloitte, you seem to have an almost personal involvement with it, not just check writing.
100%. And I think that attributes to a lot actually going out and see what they do. We've been fortunate, and this is more pre-COVID, more than so, but we've been wrapping Christmas presents for the needy. We've been doing backpack programs for those who are entering back in school. And when you participate in those events, you feel more a sense of urgency of what needs to be done. And we were fortunate after COVID to have this event. Quite frankly, this is probably one of the biggest events we've had post-COVID. And I think all of us are extremely active. And honestly, it's not me. It's about all our business partners, our suppliers, our brand managers who really stepped up to help us out and participate.
I see that, and I know there's a big gala coming up as well. I'm sure you'll be involved in that on December 6th, 125 years strong.
Correct.
Can you believe this organization is 125 years old?
That's amazing. That's amazing how long they've been, and it feels like they're getting stronger and stronger, too. So I kind of look at it as 125 years young, and I think they have a great future in front of them.
Where does your motivation come from? First of all, how long have you been involved with Volunteers of America, and where does your motivation come from to be so involved?
Like I said, I've been working for Pepsi for 35 years, and what we've tried to do is rather than try to activate 10, 15, 20 charities, we kind of zeroed in on a couple that we wanted to make a real difference for. And through that, we've picked Volunteers America just because they cover a vast majority of different things that we have a lot of interest in as a company. And you got to earn the right to work in these communities, and that's exactly what we want to do, is make a difference.
Yeah, that comes up a lot from Mr. Goins, from the people at, of course, Pepsi Bottling of New York. Let's talk just a little bit about Pepsi before we let you go. I know everybody's, I think, moving into some other room. What's your territory, and how is the business?
Right now, we cover the 5 boroughs, Westchester County, Long Island, and we have some parts in around Camden, New Jersey. Business is healthier than it's ever been. What I would say is COVID's really impacted us more in the Manhattan market. But by doing that, that means our Long Island market has been up double digit and so on and so forth. So the consumers are there. It's just their shopping patterns have changed and kind of where their shopping has changed. But we're very fortunate that we're going to actually come out of COVID stronger than we were before. And it just makes it a lot easier to help out with a lot of these events by doing that too.
I bet. I'd like to give you a few moments to talk to our listeners who may be interested after hearing all that they've heard today from you and others. For what reason would you give them to either volunteer or to donate?
Oh, that's a great question. I think to really understand what Volunteers of America is all about is to actively participate in one of their functions. And there's so many great things that they do in New York. And once you activate and you kind of see what they're doing, it becomes natural after that, whether it be financial or just donating your time to help someone in need. And it doesn't always have to be writing a check. There's so many unfortunate in New York City, and companies like ourselves and Volunteers Americas, we're here to make a difference. And we appreciate everything they've done for everybody, including ourselves.
I neglected to ask you one question, and I'll go back to it now. Where does a busy man, I know what sales is like. It's always there. You have goals, you have new products, you have old products to keep up the sales on. Where do you find the time to do this?
We extend our 14-hour days to 16. No. What I would also say, too, is Reginald's been terrific. Reginald spends a lot of our time trying to understand our schedules and do this. And putting this together is kind of like planning a wedding. Some things will go wrong, but 99% of it will go right. And we spent a lot of our extra time through this weekend just to making sure this was an event that we were proud about, and everybody's going to go walk away from this feeling real good about themselves, because we're going to ask them again next year to help us out.
and you'll be, you have this great sales. Speaking of sales, selling mulligans, as I mentioned to someone earlier, this is like selling blood to Dracula.
Yeah.
Sell mulligans to golf players, I mean.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said before, with all our mulligans, we were still 4 under.
Well, Scott Allmers, thank you so very much. Pepsi's lucky to have you, and it's a wonderful effort that you put forward for Volunteers of America.
Bob, thank you for joining. This was awesome.
Oh, the pleasure was ours. It's really been a hoot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulations for what you do. All righty, folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after this.